I feel like we're in the same generation. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
But
don't lie.
That's why I have a hat on. My color setting in.
These hairs don't lie. Working in events since 2005, I've always been inspired by people coming together to share ideas. I'm Amanda Younger, and I'll be your host on Happy Hour, where I share a drink and a laugh with guests over stories and our hope for the future of the live event experience. Today, I'm actually speaking with Myron Batsa, event director, and Mike Tableman, also event director. Special thank you to Laksamana Media, You Create, We Capture. As well as a thank you to WhistlePig Farm for their 10-year rye whiskey. Rye is a bretty grain, but these enthusiasts in Vermont know what they are doing, and they did an amazing job with me today. Be sure to continue the conversation with us online at eventspeak.com. Subscribe to Apple and Google Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify and iHeartRadio, and favorite us on Stitcher to get all upcoming episodes and help others find our show. Review and give us a rating on YouTube. Love as much feedback as possible, especially in our early stages. And a promotional giveaway is in the works, so check back soon. Together, we can make the difference in live events. Thanks for sitting with me today, guys. Today, I have a nod to a classic with a Vermont twist. I have a maple old fashioned. It's with the WhistlePig Rye, maple syrup, bitters, and an orange peel. And I twisted it so that it's little orange stuff kind of squeezed out onto it. Little orange sweat just gets on in there. Anyways, hey guys.
Hi.
Tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what you're drinking for happy hour.
Myron Batsa. I am the event director at JJLA. And I am drinking a regular old fashioned, the classic, a little vermouth. I'm using bullet bourbon and some cherry juice, and then I have that orange right there. Orange, little fancy thing going on.
A little garnishment, doing a whole thing.
Garnish.
You were a bartender like in another life, right?
I was.
Yes.
Love bartending.
We'll get back to that. Mike.
Mike Tableman. I work for DLS. I am the Director of SkyDeck Operations, and then I am also the founder of A Mind's Pursuit, which is a nonprofit mental health charity foundation. I am drinking El Celio. I gotta look at it. El Celios. It is a new tequila that has come out from a good friend of mine. Okay. It is his new company. It is very tasty. It has a bit of a mezcal twist to it. And yeah, it's something I've been drinking regularly lately. It's very good.
Ooh, I love a little mezcal. All right. Little cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
All right.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a backup on that one.
Right?
Oh, we'll probably go through a few on this call.
I actually did this one and was like, oh, that's a little strong. I need more ice. But I didn't change the alcohol content. I just make it colder.
I add more ice and I'm like, oh, I need more booze in it?
Now I need more booze? Okay. That's why I got it right there. I'll just grab it when I can.
Same.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, why don't we just start with that? So I actually met you guys last year. These wonderful gentlemen did a large-scale multi-day concert festival out on a pier in Manhattan. Madonna was there. Grace Jones was there. The Union was there, making Myron run around in circles for mostly fun, I feel. And Mike helped us get RFID executed across, I don't know how many bars. How many bars do we have?
There was 13 GA bars and 8 VIP bars, and then 30 tables for a bottle service.
Our demographic really likes bars. That's just what it is.
Hey, that's what we do.
A lot of bars.
We have a blank space. Do you have our sponsors good? Sponsors are good. Put in a bar.
Yep.
Another sponsor? One more bar.
Yeah, yeah. And also, last year, you guys were doing an insane turnaround. You were doing like 2 major Pride concerts kind of back to back, planning simultaneously. So I can only imagine all the plates that you had spinning all at once.
Oh, it was even more than that.
Yes.
Yeah, because Mike was actually doing you were at another festival before that.
I had back to back actually. I did YG's Coachella after party for the tribute for Nipsey Hussle, which was a very interesting event. And then from that, I went straight into EDC Las Vegas, which is my biggest event of the year, and then straight to New York with Myron and you for Pride.
Living that bi-coastal life.
A lot of fun.
I mean, hey, it's what we do. It's what we do.
Just got to hold on to those miles right now until everything kind of comes back and you start using them.
What do I do with them?
Yeah, I got all these miles. Oh.
I'm banned from everywhere now.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere.
But don't worry.
I really want to fly to Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, in about a year from now.
Oh, man. How did you guys even get into events? I know how you guys met me. But how did you guys get into this stuff?
Let's see. I think mine would have started when I started bartending. I was bartending back in Iowa and Chicago at a couple of nightclubs. Started sponsoring some events or putting on events. And then when I moved to LA, that was where I was naturally comfortable and I knew I could make friends. So I met a wonderful lady named Kim who owns a awesome, I don't even know, it's like an experiential bar company. And the rest is history. Just started jumping around to different agencies and events and festivals.
What is an experiential bar? Are you just setting things on fire or?
Ooh, no,
we did do that a few times.
Yeah.
We did do that a few times.
I would say it's imagine catering, but you don't know the caterers are caterers because they're fun, energetic, they're interacting with the crowds. We're doing some bar flair. We're taking shots with you, obviously. Yeah. It's just we would make the party fun or the event fun or the experiential activation fun because we were fun.
Yes.
And it was just really cool. And from there, I became a manager with them. And yeah, I don't know, lots of jumping around. It's interesting because you're like, how did I get here? But it's when you're enjoying it, you don't really know that you're moving up and doing whatever. And it's, next thing you know, you're a director and you're like, oh, I wish I was bartending.
Bartending. Mine's a similar story to Myron's. I grew up in Queens. I bartended at this bar. Actually, I worked at this bar called O'Neill's, which is a staple in Queens for the last 50 years. And I started as a busboy, then worked my way up to a bar back, bartender, bartended at a couple of nightclubs throughout the city, ended up being a door guy, moved to LA, opened up most of the venues in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. I actually met Myron through a mutual friend of ours who brought me on to work a Maxim event to be a flair bartender that Myron was actually managing. Myron then brought me with him to Sundance. From Sundance, I met a good friend of his, Brett Coulters, who's now a very good friend of both of ours, who was the director in VIP for Insomniac. She brought me on. Myron actually was the one who gave me my crash course in events. And we've been inseparable ever since.
What was the crash course? Can I ask? Is it okay? Are you comfortable discussing what
it was pretty much just trial by fire where he had a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
The department was growing at such a rapid rate. Uh-huh. And he's like, cool, you're going to learn. And EDC New York was my first one. And then in EDC Vegas, which is the largest show we do a year, they're like, all right, good luck. Here you go. And I remember after night one, I go to Myron. I'm like, yo, I quit. He goes, you can't quit. I'm like, nah, I quit. I'm not doing this.
It's always fun to look at events when you're going to them, but when you're doing them, you're like, ugh, why do you guys
people don't realize. And then 5 years later, now I'm the director and I run the entire operation. But yeah, it's been me and Myron go back. We have so many stories. Oh, it's ridiculous. But it's trial by fire. We've definitely been with each other. We've definitely been each other's support system, as well as you met Bree as well. She was been with us on a lot of events too. Yeah, and we've just, it's been a ride. It's been a ride.
And it's been a short ride. How long have you guys been doing this?
Like 6, 7 together, not collected, like 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Together 6. I've been
together 6
for like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Take.
Just but doing like big scale, large scale events from the very beginning, which that's trial by fire for sure.
Oh, it was definitely trial by fire. That's the best way to learn.
It's actually really weird because when you do them so often, you don't really think of the scale anymore. You're like, 100,000 people, that's fine. And when you when you go and talk to people and they're like, hey, so what have you done? And you're like, I don't know, EDC and Sundance and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, those really small things. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And you're like, I don't know. Do you have something bigger? Like, challenge me.
I remember we did an EDC, me and Myron did EDC Vegas, and then literally came back, and 2 weeks later we had to do the Maxim Hot 100 party in LA. And we're exhausted, and we literally come in the day before, and we're like, everyone's freaking out. We're like, okay, we can do this in our sleep right now. This is 300 people? Cool. We just got back from 150,000. No, we got it. Just don't worry about it. We got it. The ravers, they're, again, the stories we have and the things that I've seen, and just like, is this real life? Like,
we've gone to.
Oh yeah, and like when people ask me like, so what is your job like? I'm like, I can't really. It's not like, I don't want to say it's not reality, because it is, but for 95% of the population of the world, it's not the things that we do. And like, I remember seeing a stat a long time ago. It's like less than 10% of people get to attend big festivals in the world, and yet here we are. Not only do we produce them, but I mean, there's a couple of Coachella events that we don't do, and just like people plan for months to go to Coachella and save up, and we decide like literally me and Myron have decided that Saturday morning, like, all right, Kendrick's performing tonight. You want to go? Yeah, fuck it, we'll go. And then all of a sudden we have artist passes, and we're backstage, and we're at the after parties, and just like it's nothing. And I think we both learned, it's like we have taken that for granted. But also, it's just like, all right, this is really awesome, but it's hard to explain to people sometimes.
Yeah, well, and I think it's one thing where you are going to experience, right? So as producers, you're going to experience one thing, and that is we have to create something for someone's like memory bank. They're going to put it in like their cute little photo album, and they're going to scrapbook it, and like, this is their thing. And they grab their friends, and they've saved their money, and like, they are coming to have this experience, and this is going to be the highlight of their year. This is like the 10th festival you've been at, and you're like, okay, copy paste, here we go. But it means so much to everyone that attends, that you start to forget, because your job is somebody else's like grand experience.
That's actually really funny that you say that. Mike and I used to, when we worked together at Insomniac, knowing the one thing that I did in this crash course was tell him, I was like, look, now that you work here, like, you gotta like sometimes take off your radio and experience what it is that you've done for other people. And I think it's one of the coolest things ever is to like, most of and I do this with like even my staff, I'm like, take 20 to 30 minutes, take your headset off, obviously tell somebody, and like really go out and just be a guest, not in VIP, but just GA, so you can see what it's like. Like VIP is so like, it's awesome, and you're like, oh my gosh. there's like servers here at a festival, but like, you know, you go to GA and you feel that energy and you're like, you know, talk to people and randomly, because you're like, it doesn't bother you. And that experience is like, it keeps you grounded, because you do sometimes forget. You're like, listen, I don't have time for you guys. Wait, actually, I do have time for you, because you're the reason I'm here. So like, feeling that has just been, it's a good experience. So
it's a whole different perspective, because like, everybody who's enjoying the festival has no idea what we're dealing with behind the scenes. It's like the festival is about to burn down and you don't even realize it.
That's right.
And we're sitting there going, and like, I've had a couple of experiences, but like the one that actually stands out to me the most, and it's funny because the 3 toughest events that I've ever done are also the ones that I've learned the most from. Pride, New York having one of them, but I'll never forget, there was a moment where I'm running around trying to get ice to the bars after we had to shut everything down. And I got ice in both hands, and somebody's just like, hey, can I help you? And I've never had that happen before, ever. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you know, I just want to say thank you. This is amazing. And I was like, oh, is this your first time at a festival or anything like that? They're like, this is my first time ever at Pride. I was like, well, this is my first time ever at Pride New York. They're like, well, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're like, no, you don't understand. Like, I came out a few months ago. My family kind of never accepted me, and I've never felt so comfortable and accepted. And just thank you for building this for me. And I literally had like a tear come to my eye. I'm like, this is why we do this. Yeah. And like, that was an amazing, like, and as we all know, that was like, it was a great, amazing festival, an amazing event, but it was tough. It was definitely tough, but moments like that, like make it worth it. It really does.
Yeah. It really does. Yeah. And I think there's been a couple of times, I think when I started with Pride, I had, one of our directors pulled me aside at the tail end, because you're just so used to, you know, you have your walkie on, and I guess he knew that the fireworks were about to start, and he just grabbed me and he was like, come with me, let's go. And I was like, okay. He's like, they need us in front of house. I was like, okay, yeah. And like, you do the whole like alleyway and everyone's kind of moving away, and you're like, I'm doing stuff, I'm important, and get out of my way, here we go, what am I doing? And he's like, I just wanted you to come turn around and view everything from here. And it was, go out of the pier, go to front of house, and then look back, and then like see what we built, look at what it is, and then have the fireworks in the back, but then also like see everyone enjoy this thing that you made. Like, together we made this, and look at it way back here. And I was like, oh, well, this is, and he goes, shh, just take it in. And I was like, okay. And it was great because, one, it gave me like this moment of zen to also calm my brain down, because you're just like, event mode, let's do this, crisis, where's the fire, let's get it. And for like 1 minute it was like, shh, just quiet it down, and then actually take it in what this is, and that you were a part of it. And before it goes, because once it's done, it's done. But also, he knew that like cleanup was about to happen, which I also didn't know. So he was like, "This is a good time to have your zen moment before we go back into a crisis mode." Yeah. Now we got to get everybody out of here, and we got to start shutting it down. But
we all live for that after party. After it's done,
there's always one bar that's still open, and you're just kind of like, yes.
And you're like, favorite, all the unopened liquor
just there, we got it. Or like, you know,
I'm gonna dispose of it, don't you worry.
A couple of cases got lost, you know, while we were sending it back. I don't know what happened. But one of my favorite things is when you have that moment. When you have that moment, and I'll take up my phone and I'll record it after a while, and I'll put it up on Instagram, and people will respond like, "Oh, it must be nice to have your job." I'm like, this is the 30 seconds I got to take it. You didn't see the other 18 hours of my day where I was ripping my hair out.
Oh man. Well, you guys are mostly out on the West Coast right now, right? Both of you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how How's COVID affected you guys? How have you been adjusting in your work, in your life, in just like regular? How you doing?
I would say for work, it was interesting to see, like, the first week of March, we had a full calendar. Like, we were booked until September.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man, we were trying to schedule vacations for November, December. Little did we know. And I remember, like, you hear about this, like, COVID whatever in Wuhan, and you're like, crazy. Why do we need to care? And then, I would say within like 14 days, the entire work schedule had just collapsed.
Yeah.
Gone.
And I remember thinking, like, well, this is weird. And, so fast forward a little bit, some of the clients that we were working with have pivoted, like others, to virtual events.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been really cool, learning more about it, because, we all know how to do a Zoom call, and we can, figure out production.
Yes.
Hey.
Something
You
new.
can figure out production based off of, like, doing live events is pretty much the same thing. You're recording and it's, casting. But there's a whole different level of fatigue with that. So that's cool. And then I guess in my personal life, I would say last year and the year before, I traveled more than 200 days out of the year. So I'm like, props to that. But so it's been really cool to be at home for 4 months straight. I've cleaned everything.
Have you, I was about to say, I was like, how much have you reorganized?
I've like reorganized my place like twice. I've cleaned everything. Like, I mean, I feel like I should show this apartment and like sell it myself. Bought all new furniture and stuff, and you're like, okay, cool, now what? But it's been really cool to like reconnect with myself and, I don't know, be more attentive in my space and, do those projects. You're like, what is all these magazines doing here? Let's figure that out.
I've apparently been collecting them.
Hoarding.
So many. I'm such a hoarder.
Catalog to Bed Bath & Beyond. How'd this get here?
Right? I'm like, Men's Health 2015. Wow. We have a long way to go.
I don't know. Some of these articles still hold up.
So yeah, I mean, it's been really cool. And then, like, just taking some time to do online classes, like get back into SketchUp, do some blogging and writing, and connecting with friends, because I think that they thought that I didn't exist anymore. Because
well, with all that travel and work everywhere.
Yep.
They're like, oh wait, where is Myron? Oh, he's in Croatia.
Hey guys,
weird.
Call me. I'm available.
I'm home. Too much free time now.
Who's getting back into Dungeons and Dragons? This kid. Let's do that.
World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, World of Warcraft. Man. Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, just like what Myron said. So obviously at my end, as I oversee more F&B, I can't really do much without anything. So right before this happened, I was, like Myron said, when you got rid of the scheduling, I was in Vegas for EDC Vegas meetings, flew straight to Mexico to do EDC Mexico, came back, and then the rest of my year was done.
Ooh.
So for the first month of quarantine, I loved it, because this is the first time in 5 years that I'm not traveling. I was like, plus, like, no EDC Vegas, no Coachella. My phone's not ringing off the hook with stupid requests and people wanting things. This is amazing. But I think, like through most people, I went through my ups and downs, but it gave me a lot of time for self-reflection. There's a lot of things that I've been wanting to do. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of, so me and mine are actually venturing into a new realm of projects that we're both very excited about, and it's a little bit outside the box of what we usually do, but it's really cool. We're really excited for it. So for me, I've always wanted to move out, and I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker and a life coach. I've dealt with mental health for my whole life. I've seen people go through it. And there's just a lot of things that I've learned and I've wanted to move forward with. And I've been lucky enough to kind of, things align when you just want something and you work on it. And I've kind of fallen into different things. And during this time, I put together my own nonprofit called The Mind's Pursuit, which I'm now looking to, over the next year, really develop my motivational speaking skills and then I'm going on tour as well as a motivational speaker and then putting a lot of events together and raise money. And Myron's helping me with that. He's helping me build the platform. And the first thing we're coming out with, we're shooting for September right now. Okay. We have a new podcast called Scoop Juice.
Tell everyone.
So the podcast is called Scoop Juice. So Scoop Juice so it's supposed to be based off a 90s nostalgia reference, right? So our logo is placed on a lot of different 90s nostalgia. So the concept is, though, it's supposed to bring us back to a time when we were kids where you weren't afraid to discuss you just said whatever you wanted. You weren't afraid to discuss your feelings, be vulnerable. So it's Myron's the executive producer. He's coming in and out, and then a couple of good friends of ours. And we're actually tackling toxic masculinity. Because we feel as the world is changing and we're moving forward, the concept of men having this whole tandem of being, I have to be the tough guy. I can't speak about my feelings. I can't be a certain way, really provokes to a lot of the hate that's going on in the world and a lot of things. And it really needs to change. And also women in the world don't necessarily, there's a lot of badass women out there. I don't need somebody to take care of me. I need a partner. I need someone who's going to be my other half. Mm-hmm. So we want to put it up because we all come from different backgrounds and perspectives.
Or men. Or other men.
Or men. We really jump into a lot of, so we have a couple of different perspectives and we just really want to go deep into a lot of vulnerable conversation. Just be like, hey, it's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay to talk about relationships. Mm-hmm. Maybe it won't open everybody to talk about it, but it'll show that you're not alone in your feelings. Yeah. And that's something we really want to push out there. And then we have another good friend of ours, our friend Brandon, who we've seen do a complete 180 change and find a purpose now with the Black Lives Matter movement. And he's done a lot. So we have another foundation that we've been working with called Hydrate the Revolution and Revolution LA, where we're doing a lot to get people to vote, to be more aware of what's going on in the world politically. And I think we're all seeing we don't want to live in a world like this anymore.
Absolutely.
We want better. We want change. We want the future. I really believe that we're put on this earth for two reasons: to be happy, and you're supposed to leave the world a better place than you found it. That's right. And that's what we're trying to do. So it's a new venture we're embarking on, but I think we're all really excited because it's a passion, and we have to do it with our friends, and it's been a lot of fun. So me and Myron were just we did one of the what was the march we did? The Pride March we did a few weeks ago.
Solidarity March.
The Solidarity March. Our friend Brandon, who we've been really helping out, and he's been coming along, and me and Myron have been help coaching him. During the march, we partnered with Black Lives Matter, and then we got a truck that was donated to us, along with a ton of different, water, snacks, sunscreen, and we were able to drive the truck in the middle of the 50,000 person march. With speakers playing and just handing out waters and everything. And it was the most incredible energy. It's a day I'll tell my children about. It was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever been a part of. We had an amazing day. I can't even describe it. It was so awesome.
We were giving out masks too. It was actually,
hand out some masks, get everything out there. Everyone can just keep going. And I applaud you guys for taking that role on, because I know that you're doing it on top of your jobs, because I know you've been doing a lot of digital events. So the fact that you guys are still physically out there with the people and still being event providers is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It was really cool.
It was really cool to, to be out there and just be a part of a movement, one of which I didn't even know I was going to, 2020, did not know. And it's been really cool. Just to see younger people, prior to March, I thought of myself as what am I, I'm a millennial. I don't know what I am. But, I'm a millennial, I guess. And, we were I'm forward thinking. I'm progressive. Like, I'm Generation X, you're right.
That's me.
You're Generation X.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the same generation. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
But
don't lie.
That's why I have a hat on. My color setting in.
These hairs don't lie.
It's been cool to see like the younger generation, like really like honestly teaching us how to, like, let's mobilize. You want to mobilize? I got you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what did you just do? And they're like, I don't know, but 55,000 people just got that text and they're on their way here right now. And you're like, okay. I was going to build a website and take 15 days, but thank you. Cross that off my list. And it's cool to see them to do that in conjunction with the way that we, are used to operating.
Yeah. Where's my binder? I don't know where I'm going next.
I think what a lot of our industry takes for granted is like the underlying, and especially when we come out of this and life goes back to whatever sort of normalcy we're able to get to, it's like we create and provide a safe place for people to come in and forget about their problems, forget about what's going on in the world, and just be present and enjoy music. And then like we said, the energy and the love is just so infectious, and everybody is, I've never seen angry people at a festival. Yeah. You don't. And like
a rosé festival, and so
I feel like it's because our security does a really good job at diffusing and getting rid of them.
Correct. But it's just like, we create an environment for you to just forget about your problems, just and enjoy life for a while. Like, people are really going to need that coming out of this.
Yeah.
Like it's going to take a while until we come back, but we come back, we're coming back with a vengeance.
That's right.
You
guys, we're happy makers is what we're doing. Happy memories is what we're happy memory
experience creators.
That's my new title.
I'm a happy maker.
Happy memory.
I'm a happy maker. We have our fun in the process too.
Yeah, we get
our kicks off
doing, and that's what gets passed on. Like what you're doing, believe in what you're doing. Know that what you're doing
makes a difference.
Good, and it's infectious because it will show up in your work, and people are there to experience the concert and the pyro, and that's a really cool show, but they're also there to like experience you and how they feel. And when everyone's just kind of like, yeah, you're having a good time, they're like, yeah, I'm having a good time, and you're like, cool.
It's like
and you go to the back and you're just going like, I am not having a good time. I need catering staff.
I mean, the
overall wonderful woman. Her name is Cindy. She's somebody's mom somewhere, and she baked you something special, and you're just gonna like, thank you, Cindy.
You're so excited.
And then you just go back out there and go like, catering, I love you.
I mean, we make an impact while making an income, and not many people can say that.
Absolutely.
It's a really cool thing.
And it's hard to explain. Although my mom gets it, my parents get it now, so that's cool.
It took a while for my parents to get it.
I had to bring them to an event and show them what was up. Show.
Yeah, same. It's an experience.
So we're working on a music series, a virtual music series.
Yeah.
OutLoud, and that's actually where it came from. So South by was like, oh, we're so sad, but we're gonna be closing, and you're like, can we just do our couple days there? And you're like, no, none of that's happening. So it ended up they moved us over to Facebook, and we partnered with Facebook to do this virtual series that's called OutLoud, and it's a showcase of like LGBTQIA plus talent that they usually get the opportunity to perform at Prides, and they didn't get that this year, and we didn't get that as guests or producers. So this virtual experience has been, like kind of like you were talking about, like it's cool, and you're like trying to interact, and you're like, oh, I just want to talk to you more, but it's different when you're doing it virtually versus when you're doing it, or at least for me, when you're doing it in person. But we've been providing that, twice a week experience for those sitting at home that don't get the experience, like Mike was saying, where this is the only place at a Pride or whatever showcase where they could feel prideful. So it's been really cool, but I was looking forward to South by.
It's not
really looking, especially because Austin is amazing. There's such good food there.
I mean, one of my favorite events that we do, I didn't get to do it this past year with them, but we've been doing Sundance for what, 5 years? The last 5-6 years, Myron? Sundance is, I mean, I've never actually got to see a movie at any point in time on there. Never seen it, but I mean, Sundance is one of our favorite things to do, and I love it, and just the interaction, the people you meet, and just everybody up there, and like especially like all the actors the first time they're there, they're so giddy and excited, and it's so cool to be around them. So, we can't have that's not happening this year, and I'm sure they'll try to virtually do that as well, but it won't be the same.
No. But I think the beauty, and to always keep in mind is that, it is almost a necessity for humans, for like the human race to have like this, this group ecstasy, these moments, these shared experiences. I don't know. I'm trying to find all of my quote unquote hashtag somethings, shared experiences. And that's what we kind of seek out. And I know that post-COVID, if there's a vaccine, or even if we just kind of hibernate for it to just find its way out, or if we find a vaccination and we inject it the way out, regardless, at the end of this, it will always be this need to connect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just connecting with your friends. It is connecting with just people. And I feel that like connecting with strangers, especially at a festival, because I've experienced it myself. When you connect with strangers, it holds real weight.
Yeah.
And you experience something together, and you share a lighter, usually at a concert, or you share a drink, like we are, and you have this shared experience and this shared love, and yeah, I didn't know if you guys had any other ideas or expectations of what you're prepared for when we get out of this world.
I think
it's obviously we're going to have to go into a new normalcy. And then as we still look into, EDC Las Vegas and EDC Orlando, which we're still possibly looking at having, who knows if it's going to happen or not. However, we're using this time now on all the phone calls that I'm on with Live Nation, with everybody. It's like, we understand when it comes to protocol, and when it comes to safety measures, and when it comes to, I didn't have to order masks and glove and large quantities of gloves every time, but now it's part of my list.
Yeah.
It's just little things that we're going to have to now put into the norm.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, it's going to take a little bit at first, but it's going to then fall into the regular routine, and it's going to be run of the mill for us.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that we do is like if you're a good producer, you're always thinking,
as opposed to a bad one.
we know some bad ones.
If you're good at it.
So I think I'll preface that, but so like as a producer, I'm always thinking about like my empathy makes me think about the guest experience from the time you arrive at the gate to that, like, what is it like? I really want to give you my ticket so I can get inside that door.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? And you're like, that's the person you're trying to make them like, let's calm down, but let me do the thing to get you in so you can have fun. And so you do, like, sometimes we dress up an entrance to be calming. You'll have some music playing. You'll have, maybe a water station, or you have some, like, for VIP, you have a greeter or whatever that is, like, to interact with the person because there's some things that you have to do before we can let you in to have your fun, and the world is your oyster. And I think that the one thing that we'll have to think about is that entry time is going to be longer. Whatever it looks like, whether it's we need to explain to you rules that are very important for safety for you or the other guest or whatever, or taking the temperature, like that's, we already have 3 stops: 1, your ticket; 2, your bags and your purses and all of those things, and then 3, let me do a full body scan just in case you're hiding something in your skin, so like, let's, now there's a 4th step. So like making sure that they're really engaged and being, kind of like when you're on a ride at Disneyland, you're like,
I was about to say, I was like, have you ever been to Disney?
It's like, don't worry, this wait is 4 hours and 77 minutes. And you're like, but that doesn't make sense. But like on the way there, you're like, I had a hot dog. Like, I'm pretty sure Cinderella.
Harry Potter did a spell on me. Like
Harry Potter. Over at Universal. And that was a really good experience, and to where I was like, which Harry Potter experience do I want? Do I want to go to Universal, or do I want to go to Planets of Adventure?
Islands of Adventure.
Islands of Adventure. Thank you. Planet Adventure. What is it? I don't know. Anyways, I went to that one, and that was because the comment said, you don't even have to go on this ride. Like, the cool part is the line and your line experience, because the line is going to take you through all of the Harry Potter parts of the story that you want to experience. And it is a long line, and you're welcome, because most of it is awesome. Yeah. And sure enough, so that's what we chose. And we went to the, of course I had my parents and my father. I can't talk about his age, but he knows what the 1930s were. And so we had to go like, hey, not actually taking the ride, but we kind of want to just be in the line. And they were like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. And it is like a thing to where like you just say, not going to go on the ride, just want the experience of the line. And people are like, absolutely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like, I think as event producers, like just kind of like piggybacking off of what you say, the event experience is going to start like in the line.
Yeah. I think it's going to be necessary, because we're going to have to do a lot more to get you in, and to a larger scale. So, I mean, we're going to have larger queues to accommodate the timing, because that's that's another thing that we're all about: speed, getting you in so that you can start enjoying yourself and spending money so that we're not at a deficit. But at the end of the day, like, we're definitely gonna have to, like, you don't want to wait in line for an hour and just be standing there with your own thoughts. No.
I mean, the good thing about
escape those.
I mean, we talk about all of us being good producers. One of the things about being a good producer that when I'm teaching people as they're coming up, it's like, you got to be able to adapt on the fly and be solution-based and not let what happened harness you. You need to be able to take it in stride and go. Mm-hmm. And I think we're also good at thinking so many steps ahead. It's like our job, especially on the director levels, is to mitigate the fires. Like, my job now at this point is my operation runs like a well-oiled machine. I need to predict what the fire is going to be before it happens and put it out before it even starts.
Absolutely.
I think that you never know, but I think, and just from seeing all the experiences we've been in, this is going to take a little bit because this is something new for all of us. However, I think we're all, this is a really cool thing that you're doing, and all of us as a community are going to be able to swap stories and be like, hey, this happened here. Yeah. This is what I did. Try this.
Absolutely.
and we're going to have to lean on our community within itself, which we're all really great at helping each other. And, we all really work on a lot of different things together, and it is going to help us move into this new form of normalcy and this new form of events.
I think I should end on that because that was amazing. What a wonderful summation of like everything.
I try.
I'm here for you. My name is
always
Mike. And I'm here for you.
I'm always here for you. Always.
Amanda, we're definitely gonna have to have you on our
on our podcast. We actually have a podcast meeting.
Invite,
100%.
Pause recording. I was expecting the invite. I was like,
definitely.
What? Tell me more.
It's gonna.
We actually have a meeting right after this. Actually.
Then we will wrap this up, and if you want me to join that meeting, I will do it.
We would love for you to join the meeting.
I'm here for you guys. I am going to end this on that note because that's what Mike Tableman does. He closes us out.
Close out.
I want to thank you guys for coming and joining me today. I want you guys back on again because I want an update because everything that you guys are talking about, everything that you guys are doing. I invited you on here because of the experience I had with you in a very present state, and that it was amazing and fun and enjoyable, and I enjoy making memories with you guys. But the fact that you guys have these like great projects that sound amazing, and I can't wait to promote them and make sure that our audience goes and checks you out. So everything that's been shared today, of course, we're gonna have all of those little .coms for you and .orgs and all.
Oh, definitely.
Stuff. We're gonna send you all the good things. We're gonna make sure
we'll help whatever I need to do.
Everyone walks around.
Can't wait.
They're gonna be really into it because I told them to.
And I will do whatever you tell me to do to push it out.
I'm gonna do my
all platforms.
Frowny face
on all platforms.
You guys better be doing this. Anyway.
See, that's the one where we wouldn't talk to you. Where we know, don't ask the question now. That's that face.
Absolutely. Don't talk to me. Get my frown face on. All right. I want to thank you guys again for hanging out with me today. And we will make sure that everyone will get in touch with you later. And I cannot wait for an update. And I'll talk to you guys in your special private meeting.
Thank you so much, man. It was great having you.